Welcome to your Anime Senpais.
I'm John.
And I'm Richard.
And today we're going to be having Randall, who is the founder of the Louisville Anime Community, with us, and we're going to be going through a newsletter edition with you guys. So basically what that means is we're going to kind of take the monthly newsletter they do, and we're going to divide it into about 3 different episodes, and we're going to kind of present that to their community in such a format and others that are interested in anime news. So let's just kind of get started with all this. So, Randall, what would you like to talk about first with your community and others interested in anime?
Well, first, thank you for having me on the show, Richard.
Thank you for being here.
Basically, for our starting announcements, like we usually covered in our old version newsletter, we've gone up by about 40 members since last time we ran one, which I would say was April or May. For our Japanese in a nutshell, which is where we cover a few different Japanese phrases or words that we can gain some fluency or get some insight into different anime. One that we've got here right now is talking about the rainy season, and it's composed of the characters Plum and Rain. That's actually the word Suyu, which, if you recognize that, that's the name of a character from My Hero Academia, the frog gal.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's what her name means. Another one is Natsu Hanban, which is summertime in earnest or summer stage. More directly or literally, it means summer and main event. So that's how you get that together. So if you're talking to people about the seasonal shift right now, you could hear them say Suyu, and then it's going to Natsu Hanban. So we're going out of the rainy season into summertime. As to our months in review for what we've been up to in the Louisville Anime Group, we had a card and video gaming event over at Cardinal on Newcut Road in the kind of southwestern end of Louisville. We had a town hall meeting where actually this episode originated out of. So, if we have another one, please come up. We'll work with you and talk about whatever we can about building anime and the community in Louisville. We also had a cosplay walk where we had probably over 250 cosplayers walk over the Big Four Bridge over to the Jeffersonville, Indiana side. Went out to eat, talk, had lots of cosplay. Even last year we were featured on WHS 11. We also saw various movies this last quarter. It was Whisper of the Heart, which, while not quite as funny as The Cat Returns, was a very touching story, and we actually got tickets to the Don Machi movie directly after. We also saw Spider-Man Far From Home, and had a group out to that, which we went out to dinner afterwards, talked about that and its implications on Avengers Endgame. We also had a Gundam build at Cardinal where people just kind of meet up casually, build Gundams, talk about series, talk about anime in general, work on their craft, and here's a technique that this person's using or a different type of tool. So everybody gets together and just likes and enjoys building Gundam together. Sometimes it's not even Gundam, sometimes it's other robot kits. But come see us for those. Those are actually monthly now. And we also went and saw Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? The Arrow of Orion. And I would say it was a positive movie. It kind of deviated a little bit from the typical formula of the series, but we'll see how it impacts here coming up with season 2. Also of note, there are anime sales and deals, of which right now the only one that's really going on is Crunchyroll, and their store has a sale. They actually have box sets as well as pre-orders on sale for Goblin Slayer, Suriduri Children, Saga of Tanya the Evil. There's a couple different Fate sets as well as the Heaven's Field set on sale. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Fruits Basket, the new series, Sales at Work, as well as some other pre-order sets that you might be interested in. Some of the discounts aren't super great, but it might be worth taking a look at. Ones that are generally in the 180 range are now down to about $100. Some of the ones that were in the 50s are down in the 20s, so it might be worth your while to check it out.
Sounds pretty reasonable, actually.
Yeah, we'll include links in the description down below for all these as well.
We'd also like to talk about Kyoto Animation for a minute because they've been on everybody's mind, and it's been a major topic, of course, since that disaster happened. One of the things is that a lot of the American news outlets and English-speaking outlets don't really dig into the Japanese news and find out kind of the detail of the story. So if you're interested in that, do a little bit more digging because there are English-Japanese news sites available that you can pull more information from. But to kind of cover this from a top-end perspective, Kyoto Animation is known for series such as The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, K-On!, Lucky Star, Clannad. They are also later known for stuff such as Free, Sound Euphonium, Silent Voice, which was really a great show. I recommend it to everybody. Violet Evergarden, Liz and the Bluebird. These were all ones that they did here recently. There was also the Sound Euphonium here, really here in 2 weeks ago?
I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. Yeah.
In total, they had 76 workers at their Studio One facility, and it was mainly, from what I understand, a kind of a training facility and more of an upper management type facility. So they did have a lot of their computers and their cell work and stuff housed there, although they do have other facilities like another studio and stuff like that. But they had 76 workers though at that location, 34 of which died. The fire was caused by a single 41-year-old man, 20 of them burned to death, 3 were carbon monoxide, 2 people suffocated, and 19 of them were found in a stairwell. People have been asking, was the building up to code for this type of, tragedy to happen? They did find that it was up to code. They actually had awnings and things in the fire escapes to help that kind of thing or prevent that type of thing where they've had the suffocation in the stairwells. So there's a lot of investigation still going on. It's still really early in this process. We did find out that there's the arsonist used about 5.3 gallons of gas that he picked up locally. There's also, he used 2 buckets and 2 cans that he picked up from off-site over 5 kilometers away that they've tracked this individual, and then he carried them on foot using a hand cart up to the building. One of the reasons, or the alleged reasons that the arsonist said that he did this was that they said that the Kyoto Animation had stolen his novel and he was basically paying them back for it, saying they stole my novel, so I set the fire. So the president has not received any submissions from the individual that was identified as the arsonist. They haven't gotten any submissions or notifications, so they really don't know this individual. They also issued a statement here recently on how you can help provide funds if you want to donate to help the studio, which will be going directly to the families of those injured or killed. They said in their quote, "We have been receiving messages of support from people all over the world regarding the incident that took place on Thursday, July 18th. We are deeply grateful for them. Our company intends to put forth its utmost effort to recover. In regards to that intention, we have received many kind messages from people who wish to stand with us. And so we have established a bank account for donations to be placed in, and at this time we would like to announce its specifics." Which they went on to then cover and give the Japanese bank information. You can find that online. Many outlets such as like Anime News Network have that available. To date, they have received about $5.7 million in their Japanese bank account. Sentai Filmworks has also started an effort, and they've got about $2.2 million at this time. Right Stuff, Animate, and many others also have programs that they're trying to get so that the survivors can benefit. Looking forward, the president, Hata, has stated that after the fire he intends to consider or at least plan to demolish the building, possibly creating a public park, and at that spot of the fire maybe putting a memorial. He stated that when I consider the staff and the people in this neighborhood, there are people who don't want to see such a gruesome sight. So therefore he's looking at kind of turning it into a community zone, kind of a memorial.
Yeah.
But they seem to be appreciating the messages that the anime community is sending. Like Crunchyroll has a pop-up on their site and a dedicated location where you can put in messages, and they're trying to get that and translate that over to Japanese. But they're saying that our messages from the fan community is becoming their emotional support, so keep sending those messages. But other than aside from that, this was the worst fire and kind of arson that Japan has experienced since at least 2001. That was another one where 44 people were killed. So this has really been the worst incident, not just for animation, but the incident at all in Japan since really World War II.
Yep.
So it's kind of a shock and awe type thing that they're having to work through and find their legs again after that.
It's funny too because over here in America, like, we see a bunch of different tragedies, here, and we just kind of brushed off. But over there, that's just like, not it doesn't happen hardly at all, So it's probably really crazy for them. It's crazy for me to even just hear about it. I mean, even like something like the tsunami, it was tragic, but it's like it's kind of typical over there. But
it's a force of nature.
Yeah,
it's
force of
not
nature.
Intended.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a surprise. It's almost like 9/11 for the Japanese in a
Right.
sense. It's like you wake up one morning and suddenly this thing is happening and you're glued to your TV.
Right.
Over there things are a little bit different too, where we started out, I think, with Sentai trying to get a funding account together and doing a GoFundMe, which nothing against Sentai. I think that was good intentions and all that, but nobody really went and looked at how can the Japanese receive this money. There's international tariffs and fees, and there's different rules for how their company is set up, where they might be penalized if they accept that money. So they have to work all that legalese out and figure out all these things before it can really get to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're just getting to the point of having funerals and having autopsies done. So
right.
We'll continue to hear more about this, and I'm sure for the coming months. And being that KyoAni was one of the few that actually paid their workers a full salary instead of by page, and they were intent on hiring more female employees, that had a lot of impact on the industry. And I sincerely hope that they find the enthusiasm and the encouragement from the community to keep doing what they're doing, even if that means hiring more hands. So.
All right. Well, was that all you had on that then, for that event?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Randall, for that update on all the information that went on with the KyoAni event. I know a lot of people have had just different mixed information coming from that, and not really a direct place to go for a lot of really detailed information. They've just been kind of hearing different hearsays, and really appreciate all the research you did to kind of look into this a little further. This is going to end this video, and if you liked it, please, consider subscribing. Hit the like button to let us know how much you do appreciate these kind of videos, if you want more like this. And we're going to continue in another video going over some different topics, so we really hope you'll join us for that.